How's it going, guys? We're here talking some Penn State football. Penn State's been landing some good transfers in the portal lately, and they could be landing another one. They're very interested in defensive lineman Owen Carney of Illinois. He's a guy that, when you look at him, he looks the part. Good D lineman. His stats show it from last year. He had 5 sacks in just 7 games, 6 tackles for loss. And it's in the Big Ten. It's not like he's doing it at a small school. So it's a guy that could come in and have possibly a starting role, or at least get a lot of playing time for us next year if we can get him. Um, they've already gotten a couple uh, D linemen in the transfer portal with the Temple guy. I can't remember his name. It's hard to pronounce. But and then Derek Tangelo from Duke. But yeah, they need to beef up the D line because losing Shaka Toney, Jason Owe, Antonio Shelton, and then Shane Simmons, who is probably our third best D end last year, is gone. Um, so it's just one of those things that we need to replace probably about 3 or 4 of our top 5 D linemen, and it's one of those things that you need to go out and get him in the transfer portal because the recruiting, especially on the D line, maybe in the secondary or receiver, you can put true freshmen out there. But when it comes to D linemen, you can't just recruit like George Rooks, who we're interested in at D tackle for the 2021 class. If we get him, he won't be ready to play year one. We need to get guys who are already coming in with a lot of experience, ready to play. So if we think we have a shot to beat, say, Ohio State next year, who I think will be more vulnerable without Justin Fields, it'll be interesting to see how they look. They're going to be talented, but they won't have Justin Fields. They're going to have definitely a worse quarterback, I would say, with either C.J. Stroud or maybe they'll start Kyle McCord as a true freshman. I don't know, but so I think we have a real opportunity next year. I think we have a decent amount of guys coming back. And then, if they can get a guy like Owen Carney with viable Big Ten experience, it's played well uh, last year and even has gotten playing time before that. It's important. It's very important to get a guy like him. And if we get him, I think we really have good solid depth on the D line. Before getting these transfers, I thought we were very vulnerable on the D line, but if we can get him along with the other two we've already gotten, I think that we'll actually kind of turn it into a little bit of a strong suit for um, our team. And Tyree Castor Fields coming back is very big news as well. It'll be interesting to see what Lamont Wade does at safety. Um, we kind of need either a safety from the transfer portal or for Wade to come back. Um, Either way, that would be fine with me. I mean, I guess technically I'd rather have Wade. Um, it depends who the transfer would be, but Wade, I think, is a solid guy who, has gotten a lot of experience the last couple of years, and he played very well against Ohio State in the 2019 game. So it'd be nice to have him back, or if we can get a transfer who we think could be at least as good as him, that'd be great. Um, so yeah, I kind of like the build, how this team's building right now. It's definitely got some pieces to be excited about. Returning everybody at linebacker. The O line could, return most people, depending on like another guy, Michael Menet. He'll probably be gone. He was a 5th year senior last year. I don't see him returning for a 6th year. I think the NFL was interested in him enough to draft him probably in the 4th, maybe 5th round, 3rd round if he's lucky, if he shows out in combine or in whatever. But it's just this team I think has a lot of potential, um, and hopefully a full year under the coaching staff, where they didn't really get last year because of COVID and they had to do a bunch of online work. I think they'll get a lot more in-person work over this offseason than last offseason, and hopefully next year will be normal. We'll be able to have full crowds at Beaver Stadium, whiteout game, all of that. All right, well, thank you guys. We are Penn State.